Just as it says. You guys are incredible.
Hi, I am Mickey Clements, and I used to make stuff like this.
Yes, 3,000 of you have decided to come and check out what I do each week, and that is truly amazing. It is so awesome to have so many people interested in what I'm doing. So to celebrate, I just placed an order with PostUp Stands for a professionally printed backdrop. Now, I'm not sure how I'm actually going to install it on my current projector screen, but we'll figure that out when it arrives. So for today, I figured I'd show you how I made the current backdrop before it gets replaced. Now this is some older footage at this point. It was one of the first things I filmed when I was starting the channel, so that should be interesting. But at first there's one other thing I noticed. What? Oh. My first dislike. Someone apparently didn't like something about the bow perch video, but that is completely fine. I've been expecting it. It's been a little bit stressful just staring at the perfect 100% like ratio, just wondering when someone is going to not like something I've done. They are completely within their right to dislike it. I've disliked videos before. You could leave a comment and tell me why you didn't like something. I sincerely embrace constructive criticism. The whole point of this channel really is for the betterment of myself, so anything I can do to improve what I'm doing, I'd love to hear it. I'm not here for likes or dislikes. I'm just here to make cool stuff and do cool things and keep myself motivated. And really, why focus on one person who didn't like something when so many of you do? So many of you leave awesome, positive comments. And that positivity, that's gonna win over negativity any day. And even if the scales were tipped, if my videos got nothing but dislikes, as long as they got one like, as long as I liked it, then that's still positive. That's still someone who's getting enjoyment out of what I'm doing. And the fact that so many other people are getting enjoyment, are liking what I'm doing, that amazes me every single day. All right, well, let's get past Nick in here. He'll show you how I put that together, and I'll have you on your way.
So this video is obviously before I've even started my channel. I'm making the tiled backdrop. I've done a lot of tiling of images, and I've done them a lot of different ways. Lately, the way I like to do it, cut them on the line and then just put them together. But instead of taping them all together, I make a sheet out of paper and then I spray adhesive them onto the sheet. First, I need to make a giant sheet of brown paper. Okay, I do have a trick for dealing with this ridiculously tiny table. Magnets. Bottom of the card table. And then I can basically clamp my paper on with a magnet. Okay, this table's way too small. I had the bigger table, it just had stuff on it and I didn't want to move it. So now I'm going to take all of these chunks of a giant image and just spray adhesive them onto the brown paper. Now a technique that I have come up with for you have to spray adhesive a whole bunch of things, one at a time. Whatever your work surface is, it's going to very quickly get covered in overspray. And you can put down newspaper if you still get newspaper delivered. I found just putting down a sheet of tissue paper is quite cost effective. There's 35 sheets here for $1. First piece, which is solid black, so I have no idea what's up and down. That's a dirty nozzle. Take the nozzle off before you try and clean it, otherwise you will get spray glue in your eye. What? One's done already? What? Does it sound better now? Does it sound worse? And actually, just replacing the nozzle altogether is an even better option. Although if I remember, these were kind of cheap, so I don't know if they were any good. Now the more tedious part is just waiting. You want to let it dry quite a bit to where it's kind of tacky, almost to like a sticky note. It works much better that way. It's very much like rubber cement. You would actually want to put it on both surfaces, and then when they contact, they make a really good bond. But I'm only going to do it on the image side. Soft ooh, wow, that's pulling up a lot of toner. Well, that's just what's going to happen. Maybe we'll just dab. So now there's adhesive on my surface, so I don't want to put another one on and get adhesive on the front. So I'm just going to throw down a piece of tissue paper, and now no sticky. Go down my next one. Normally I'd like to smooth it, but there's so much black toner and it's actually not sticking to the plain paper. I probably should have printed it on a gloss stock, but this is just the first one. I'm sure I'll do more. I'm staying very level on the top. It's easy to, well, I'm going on 2, but you get off just a little bit here, and then by the end it's multiplied and you're off by half an inch. So, and now again, our work surface is sticky. And I mean, there's other ways around it. I could prop up the sheet, just so it's up just high enough. But then of course that allows more air to go underneath. This just seems like a good solution to me. And of course, if you have, tons of newspapers around, that's another way to go. Actually, another great tip for when this is an issue, when, toner likes to leave the page, is to just throw something on top of it. Just do it that way. And there we go. I'll probably keep recording, but I am going to listen to some copyrighted music. Look at that, last piece. You almost have like a tissue micarta, except the center's not glued, all the edges are, but you're left with this. That's the byproduct. So maybe we'll figure out something to do with that in the future. But right now, it's just gonna go away. That came out pretty good. I mean, there's obviously some gaps. That's one issue. with doing just the butt up way. It would have been great if I had had like black paper to mount it to. Maybe if I use like black wrapping paper or something, but that'd be a lot thinner, which may be better. But either way, you know, some of these I can just kind of run a bead of Sharpie. But it really, this is probably one of the best ones I've ever done. As far as alignment came out really good. And I'd rather have some gaps with perfect alignment than no gaps but like really bad alignment. I didn't have any bubbles. You know, like sometimes I'll try and force it into place and then I'll make it all out of whack. I just kind of let it go where it ended up. And I am pretty happy, and especially since this will be in the background, hopefully a little blurry because of depth of field. I think it's gonna look cool. All right, that is cool. That is done. So now I'm gonna try and hang it on my projection screen. And what I'm really curious to see what happens is if I can actually roll it up into the screen, and one, if there'll be enough room, and two, just what'll happen. All right. The right size, at least. Good. Yeah, that works. Cool. So yeah, if I have to just hang it, then there we go. That's kind of cool. You can definitely see it's tiled, but. All right, so now I'm gonna tape it on. Now I gotta roll it up in there and see what happens. There's not enough room. Bummer. It's too thick. It's too thick. I don't have a hook anywhere. Hook! There we go. Not ideal, but that's gonna work for now. That'll work, kind of. That's such a better image. That's you. Well, I think that'll work. Cool. Well, it sucks that it won't roll all the way up, which is something I thought might be an issue. It's probably definitely too thick. Maybe a thinner backer, like wrapping paper, or just tape it together on the back. I could probably make another one, just thinner. So this is taking place before I've even started anything. Time travel! That kind of sounds like the TARDIS. That sounds a lot like the TARDIS. This is so stupid. Anyway, I just have to put that big puzzle piece together. I've done this already. I'm doing it again. I'm just going to tape it together. I'm going with masking tape. I'm not sure on that decision. We'll see what happens. If I have to do it a third time, I will. So this one I printed on gloss, and it seems to be doing a much better job of holding the toner. So instead of worrying about alignment of the image, I'm just going to hope that the print was registered right and that the cut was registered right. And I'm just going to line up the sheets of paper as accurately as possible and get them as tight together as possible so there's no gaps. And basically just tape this thing up from the back. Yeesh. Alright, well, I'm not at all worried about using masking tape because that is going to hold just fine because I changed my mind about how I wanted to do this and I couldn't even get it off. I don't want a lot of layers of masking tape on top of each other. So I'm going to just use a very tiny amount of Scotch tape at the top and bottom to get everything connected. And then I'm going to go back with a big strip of masking tape. I think I'll trim off these each time too. And this is Yeah, move. I shouldn't have trimmed it. Shouldn't have trimmed it so close. Just gonna make a little guide. Will help me get these sides. So it goes this. I have a tiny bit of bulb there, so it definitely goes this way. Because I could avoid having any overlap, but that's more than I really want to do, and some overlap's going to be fine. It'll just help it more. So I'm going to just do the uprights and just butt those up, and then once I get another row on, I'll stretch it all the way across, especially since my table is wide enough. And wouldn't that just suck if I flip this over and then like the one right in the middle is completely upside down? It's totally going to happen. Now, while doing this all upside down is a bit more risky just because it's a lot easier to mess up. Ways I would do it in the past, I'd take a piece of tape, you'd fix it on there, and then you'd line it up and put it down, and then you'd flip it over, tape the back, flip it back over. There's a lot of flipping, and now, of course, doing it this way allows you to adjust for any inaccuracies, but whenever you start doing that, it just gets warped. Eventually, that trickles down all the way through and you get weird puckers. So just taking the risk and doing it all upside down just seems to be the better way to go. Now, if this doesn't fit up in there, I'm going to be very sad. All I see is black. All right, big reveal. Look good? Can't see it. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that's so much better than the one I just did. And I thought that one looked good. That came out amazing. The registration is like freaking perfect. If I tried to line it up by looking at it, it would not have come out this good. I would have had like big puckers because I would have thought I needed to correct something. This looks awesome. Oh my God, I hope it fits. It'll fit. It'll fit. It'll fit. It has to fit. It's the best thing I've ever tiled. That is for sure. And I've tiled a lot of stuff in a lot of different ways. And this came out great. I'm sorry. I can barely tell it's tiled. I mean, other than like the difference in printing, but as far as the lines, I've never had lines this clean. This is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go hang it up right now. I got my magnet. I'm just gonna tape it up here, right at the top. Got my other magnet. There you go. I just put some tape on it and a little handle. So I don't have to like kind of try and pry it off and scratch up the image. Ooh! Okay, that surprised me. And as far as taping it up there, gaffer's tape would be my first choice. But I'm gonna go with some duct tape. Duct tape peels off easier than the masking tape. Okay. Is it gonna fit up inside the screen? Kind of. Mostly. Just kind of got to get to know it. You have to get to know how it works. And how it works is I have to put my hand up here. I'll pull her down. Just feed her on out. Or not. No, it's just dumb. Okay.
Alright, well, look forward to a new vinyl print of the bulb and a video showing however I figure out how to attach it to my current retractable screen, hopefully very soon. But my sincere thank you for watching. Once again, I am Nick D. Clements. If you're wondering, Nick is short for Nicholas, and the D stands for Daisy. Anyway, I'm off to make something else. Again, I am Nick D. Clements. If you're wondering, Nick is short for Nicholas, and the D stands for dog walking across the floor.